Any comments or discussion that you'd like to share? I mean, I know you guys had some good things here at this table when I was sitting, so yes.
Well, you know, we're implementing Common Core Algebra 1, and our school is starting Unit 4, which is on polynomials, addition, subtraction, multiplication. And we actually, kind of in our PLC group, they just have a hard time with factoring, and we thought, well, what is factoring? It's division. We never say the word divide polynomials. We go straight to factoring. So this year we decided to kind of build multiplying and then writing them as divisions and actually dividing and then writing the factors. And I think it actually helped the kids this year to kind of see that idea of factoring as just a different way of dividing. So I kind of appreciated the talk about, you know, thinking of it more in terms of multiplying, because I think breaking it down was something that we needed to do. We've never done. And I do agree that by putting those words together, the factor, the divide, and the multiply, I think it made more sense to them this year than it's made in the previous years.
So previous years factoring was something completely different.
Yeah, it was separate, and we tried to keep it together this year, and I think it
talk to
helped.
your neighbors, talk to me, and I'll write a few things on the board, just what they are, and then we'll kind of maybe come back together and talk about what do you think of the first three.
As part of the process. Yeah, so we want to remove that.
Yeah,
It's easy enough to put it back in.
It's not a Rich's discussion, there's lots of factors.
Nobody.
That's part of the reason I can never remember. I just do it like, I would leave it like that, because otherwise I end up with the problem that I started with. You basically just.
I cannot tell you how many grades you were in the first exam. But they did exactly that same sort of thing. The whole 1 over A, 1 over B. I know, that's exactly what they did, and it made the problem a whole lot.
In say 2A and 2B. The difficulty comes in getting kids not to combine things that aren't alike, because when you do it with these numbers, you can just combine them together. You're just adding 7 and 8, and they're all good, and everything is fabulous.
Yeah.
And so then they just sort of assume that 7Z and 8X are going to combine in the same way, because you did this analogous task that was similar, you know, and so unless you leave it as 7 plus 8 earlier, they have a hard time.
What, Rich, what was the game you said you
What's
played?
missing?
What's missing? Okay. Do you see this a lot?
Oh, yeah.
And so they don't.
Oh, and then they want to cancel.
Oh,
yeah. Because you're like, hey, there's an X, I can make that go away.
So
Well,
they don't
and even if they don't
recognize.
combine the unlike terms,
Yeah,
they
they still
cancel.
want to cancel.
And that step doesn't exist in the number one because you combine the numbers before you had a chance to cancel.
Yeah.
Yeah, there they would want to cancel
That is
C's
true.
and X's.
And so they would do this.
Yeah,
I've
it'd be
seen
left with
that.
7 plus 8 over
That's
Y.
when I was talking about how they wanted to combine those all the time. I always say that, well, at the zoo, we can't put zebras with elephants. You know, we keep those
Biolike
separate.
terms, we talk about cats, mice, and dogs. They can't be put together because they'll eat each other.
I see. So keep a cat and a dog separate.
I just like terms of family members, like same last name. So, if somebody has the same last name, it's because they're cousins or siblings, and so they're alike.
Okay.
If they don't have the same last name, and that kind of goes along with like the 7Z and the 8X, they don't have the same last name.
Yeah, I see. So they're just not the same family, so you
Yeah.
gotta keep them in separate.
Sometimes I will reverse the analogy. Not very often, but occasionally. So we've got this analogous task that went this way. We have the student who crossed off the X. And I go, well, both of these are even. Do you want to do this? And for the most part, my students catch it right away. Oh no, you can't do that. You got to add first.